Namaskar and good evening. You are watching CVR News. This is Anukriti Sharma and it's time to set the primetime bulletin rolling. A major disruption in Microsoft's cloud services affected several airlines, grounding the planes and disrupting the flight operations. Microsoft Windows global outage has definitely affected millions of users worldwide. American Airlines, the Delta Airlines, including several other airlines in India too, flung into action, cancelling several flights after the outage was reported in the Microsoft Windows. Check-ins and other facilities at the airports were also halted for few hours that ran into a technical glitch. Banks, hospitals and other small and large business houses too were affected in the global Microsoft outage. Let's take a look at this detailed report. The outage, which began on Thursday evening and affected Microsoft's central US region, crippled essential systems for numerous airlines including the American Airlines, Frontier Airlines, Allegiant and Sun Country in the US, as well as Indigo and other airlines here in India. It was not immediately clear whether all the reported outages were linked to CrowdStrike problems or if there were other issues at play. Microsoft's global outage disrupted flight operations worldwide with visible chaos at the airports. Lakshmikant Reddy, Gannavaram Airport Director, explained the impact on travel schedules, anticipating a swift resolution to minimize the disruptions and also to ensure passenger safety and convenience amid this technological setback. Let's take a look. A large number of students in Kolkata held a protest in support of the Bangladesh students on July the 19th. The protesting students came out in support of the ongoing anti-quota protests in Bangladesh. The protesters clashed with the police and a few students were also detained during this process. The protest was led by the All India Democratic Students Organization or the AIDSO. The protests in Bangladesh have been driven by demands for reform of the country's quota system for the civil service jobs, which reserves positions for specific groups, including the descendants of those who participated in the 1971 War of Independence against Pakistan. CVR News has got the latest report on the safety of the Indian nationals in Bangladesh. All Indian nationals in Bangladesh are safe, and New Delhi is in touch with the officials there while closely monitoring the situation, the Ministry of External Affairs has said in the wake of the ongoing violent protests in the neighbouring country. The Ministry of External Affairs has said that it has issued an advisory for the Indian nationals and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is himself monitoring the situation. As you are aware, there are protests which are happening in Bangladesh, and we have around 8,500 students and somewhere around 15,000 Indian nationals resident in the country. Quote unquote, the MEA spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal said in the weekly press briefing on Friday. He further updated that MEA will keep giving regular updates on the situation. It also urged the family members of the Indian nationals there to be in touch with the Indian High Commission in Bangladesh. Indians from Bangladesh have been rescued and brought back to India through the Dauki integrated checkpost after violence over the quota in Bangladesh. Let's take a look at the visuals. And moving on, as the US presidential race picks up the pace, Donald Trump's vice president pick, J.D. Vance's wife, Usha Vance, has hogged the limelight. Usha Vance's Indian grand-aunt, Professor C. Santhama, who resides in Visakhapatnam, conveyed her wishes. A litigator at a national firm, Usha Vance is the daughter of Indian immigrants and has an impressive academic background. Former US President and Republican presidential pick Donald Trump has selected J.D. Vance as his running mate for his bid. Let's take a look. Meanwhile, the police have apprehended 14 ganja peddlers in a significant operation targeting the illegal drug trafficking. The crackdown led by law enforcement authorities underscores the ongoing efforts to curb narcotics trade in the region. ADCP Sri Hari Babu presented the culprits to the media. Daggubati Punardeshwari BJP MP has responded to former Chief Minister Jagan Mohan Reddy's letter to Prime Minister Modi. She urged him to introspect on his governance and his priorities, and also reminded him to recollect what were the atrocities happening during his tenure. Let's take a look at this report. Now let's take a look at the weather report that's making the national headlines today. Due to the formation of another low-pressure region in the Bay of Bengal, extensive rains are occurring in Andhra Pradesh. While heavy rains are falling in many districts, flood conditions have also arisen. In this context, CM Chandrababu conducted an online review with his officials today. He held a teleconference with the collectors, SPs and officials of the various departments of the rain-fed districts. As the low pressure effect is likely to persist for a few more days, officials have been advised to remain alert. He ordered to ensure that there is no loss of life and property by working with advanced planning. He also said that the officials of irrigation and revenue departments should work in coordination. Chandrababu directed the officials that they will be able to avoid the losses if they act vigilantly after the weather department warns and assesses the situation. Adyapuri area is experiencing a flood-like situation following heavy rains. Deputy Commissioner Mulla Muhilan visited the affected areas to assess the situation and coordinate the relief efforts for the residents who have been impacted by this inundation. Let's take a look. And that's all for this Prime Time Bulletin's agenda. This is Anukriti Sharma signing off. Keep watching CVR News.